Have you ever wondered what's really hiding beneath the thick, frozen surface of Antarctica? It's the coldest, most isolated, and least understood place on Earth. But hidden under its endless sheets of ice could be clues that might rewrite everything we know about our planet's past, and possibly our own origins. For centuries, Antarctica was just a blank spot on ancient maps, a frozen mystery at the edge of the world, twice the size of Australia and holding 90% of Earth's ice. It remains one of the least explored places on the planet. But as technology has improved and satellite images have revealed more, strange discoveries have started to emerge. Symmetrical formations, odd structures, and whispers of ancient civilizations buried in the ice. In this video, we'll dive into the most mind-blowing theories, legends, and discoveries linked to Antarctica, from pyramid-shaped mountains and mysterious doorways to secret Nazi bases and lost ancient maps. So strap in, because this isn't just a journey across a frozen continent. This is a deep dive into one of Earth's greatest unsolved mysteries. Let's uncover the secrets of Antarctica, the forbidden continent. As satellites began scanning Antarctica in greater detail, more strange features started to appear, shapes that looked anything but natural. One of the most mysterious is a large rectangular opening in a remote part of East Antarctica, carved into the side of a snowy rock face. It looks eerily like a doorway, tall, symmetrical, with sharp edges and a shadowed interior. Some say it's large enough for a full-sized aircraft to fly through. Scientists explain this as a natural formation caused by melting, refreezing, and the movement of glaciers. But others believe something more artificial could be hiding beneath the snow. And it doesn't stop there. On one of Antarctica's southern islands, satellite images revealed a wide cave entrance at the base of a mountain. In front of it, several evenly spaced horizontal lines, like stairs, leading into the darkness. Geologists are baffled. Natural processes don't usually create staircases. Some say these shapes are just rock layers exposed by uneven melting. But the straight lines, the symmetry, it all seems too perfect. Even stranger, these features seem to change. One year, they're visible. The next, they're gone. Then they reappear again, sometimes with different shapes or more detail. What's going on under Antarctica's ice? Are these clues to ancient structures, or just tricks of nature? We know Antarctica today as a frozen wasteland, cold, lifeless, and buried in ice. But millions of years ago, it was something else entirely. Imagine this: forests, rivers, and entire ecosystems once covered the land we now know as Antarctica. Over a century ago, explorers near the Beardmore Glacier, just 500 kilometers from the South Pole, discovered fossilized leaves. They looked like beech trees. At first, scientists thought it had to be a mistake, but it wasn't. Later, expeditions uncovered upright fossilized trees, still rooted in ancient soil. Some stood over 7 meters tall. And it gets even more incredible. These weren't scattered finds. They were part of vast, temperate rainforests filled with pollen, leaves, and signs of life. This wasn't a cold tundra. It was a thriving, green world. Temperatures back then ranged from 13 to 21 degrees Celsius. That's warmer than parts of modern Europe. Drilling projects have confirmed even more. Beneath layers of ice, scientists found ancient pollen, evidence of tundra and plant life that existed just 12 million years ago. And before that, even warmer periods. So, what happened? Antarctica didn't freeze overnight. The process took millions of years. Some regions remained ice-free far longer than we ever imagined. And this leads to a powerful question. If Antarctica was once warm, wet, and full of life, could an ancient civilization have existed there before the ice took over? Mainstream science says no, but not everyone agrees. If parts of Antarctica were once green and habitable, is it possible that someone lived there? It sounds far-fetched, and mainstream archaeology says no, but some claims challenge that belief. One expedition near the Doubleday Glacier reported something astonishing: the ruins of a massive stone structure, shaped like a building with columns, possibly even the size of a Roman amphitheater. They claim to have found stone blocks, strange symbols, even coins with unfamiliar animals on them. There's no peer-reviewed confirmation, no solid proof. But the story alone was enough to ignite debate. And then, there's the Peary Race Map, created in 1513 by an Ottoman admiral. This ancient world map shows parts of South America, but also something even more shocking: a landmass that looks a lot like Antarctica without ice. The shape of the coastline on this 500-year-old map matches what Antarctica looks like underneath its ice sheet, something we only discovered with modern radar. So how did Piri Reis know? Some believe the map was copied from old, long-lost charts, created by a forgotten civilization with advanced knowledge of the Earth's geography. Historian Charles Hapgood suggested exactly that, proposing that an ancient seafaring culture mapped the world long before history says it was possible. He believed Antarctica may have been ice-free as recently as 10,000 years ago, and the Piri Reis map might be a surviving piece of that hidden past. Skeptics call it speculation, but to others it's a breadcrumb, leading to something much bigger. Deep beneath Antarctica's ice lies a land that hasn't seen the sky in over 14 million years. Using satellite scans and radar, scientists have discovered an ancient landscape hidden below, valleys, rivers, and hills the size of Belgium. This buried terrain once supported forests, maybe even wildlife. It looks eerily similar to parts of northern Europe. So what happened? How did this green world become a frozen desert? The answer might lie in Earth's climate cycles. Over millions of years, our planet has swung between ice ages and warmer periods. Antarctica didn't always sit where it does today, or feel how it does now. One theory, known as true polar wander, suggests that Earth's outer shell can shift over time. This would mean the entire continent of Antarctica might have moved, slowly but drastically, from a warmer zone to the South Pole. It's controversial, but some evidence supports the idea. And then, there's a stranger possibility. In the early 20th century, mystic Edgar Cayce made a bold prediction. He claimed that Antarctica would one day become green again, fertile and full of life. Cayce believed that a shift in Earth's axis would reveal ancient lands, flood modern coastlines, and awaken long-lost civilizations buried under the ice. According to his readings, Antarctica wasn't always frozen. It was once home to advanced people, wiped out when the Earth changed. Skeptics dismiss his visions, but believers ask the obvious question: what if Cayce wasn't predicting the future, but remembering the past? Beneath Antarctica's thick ice lie hundreds of hidden lakes, sealed away from the world for millions of years. The most famous, Lake Vostok. It sits nearly 4,000 meters below the East Antarctic ice sheet, untouched by sunlight, cut off from air, trapped since before humans even existed. When Russian scientists finally drilled into the lake in 2012, after more than a decade of effort, they pierced into a world no one had seen. The water shot up under pressure, but the mission had to stop before samples could be properly collected. Still, the discovery shook the scientific world. Lake Vostok is just one of over 400 subglacial lakes across Antarctica. Some are massive, others are small and temporary, filling and draining beneath the ice in secret. They're not warmed by sunlight, but by heat from deep inside the Earth. In 2019, another expedition reached Lake Mercer, hidden beneath the West Antarctic ice sheet, and there, in complete darkness, scientists found something unexpected: life. Tiny microbes, thriving without oxygen or sunlight, feeding on iron, sulfur, and ancient minerals in the water. In some lakes, they discovered strange microbial mats, like underwater carpets or tree-like forms. These organisms are unlike anything found on the surface. Living in total isolation for millions of years, could more complex life be hiding down there beyond our reach? Some believe these lakes are clues, not just to Earth's past, but to the kind of life we might find on other icy worlds, like Europa or Enceladus. What we're learning in Antarctica might be preparing us for discoveries far beyond Earth. Deep in the McMurdo Dry Valleys, something unnatural flows from the ice. A 5-story waterfall, bright red, oozing from the face of a glacier. It's called Blood Falls, and at first glance, it looks like the glacier itself is bleeding. For decades, this eerie sight puzzled scientists and fueled wild theories. Was it rust? Was it life? Or something else entirely? The truth is just as fascinating. Millions of years ago, before the valley froze over, it was a shallow sea. As the ocean retreated, pockets of salty water were trapped below the surface, sealed in by layers of ice, cut off from sunlight, oxygen, and the atmosphere. This ancient water became rich in iron, and today, it's still there, pressurized beneath the glacier. When it seeps out and touches the air, the iron oxidizes, turning the water a deep, bloody red. It's the same process that makes iron rust. just on a much bigger scale. But that's not the end of the story. Inside this red liquid is a hidden ecosystem, tiny organisms that survive without light, without oxygen, and without fresh nutrients. They feed on iron and sulfur, thriving in one of the harshest environments on Earth. These microbes are called extremophiles, and they've adapted to total isolation. Studying them could unlock secrets about how life might survive in other extreme places, even on other planets. Still, not everyone is convinced the explanation is that simple. Some conspiracy theories claim blood falls is more than just natural chemistry. They suggest it could be leaking from something deeper, an ancient base, a hidden lab, or a forgotten experiment buried beneath the ice. Strange, maybe, but in Antarctica, the line between science and mystery is razor thin. Antarctica isn't just home to frozen lakes and ancient ice, it's also home to legends. One of the strangest, a massive, pale white creature said to roam the icy waters, known as the Ningen. First reported by Japanese research crews, the Ningen is described as a humanoid being up to 30 meters long. Some say it has arms and hands. Others say it looks more like a smooth sea creature, blending in with drifting icebergs. Its face, 2 eyes, a wide, expressionless mouth, almost human, but not quite. It rises silently from the ocean, then vanishes without a trace. The first modern reports of the Ningen surfaced online in the early 2000s, but since then, it's become a powerful symbol of Antarctica's hidden unknowns. Some believe it's a new species, others think it might be intelligent, or even linked to secret government knowledge. And it's not the only legend. Even older is the story of the Kraken, a giant sea monster known from Norse mythology. While the classic tales place it in the North Atlantic, modern sightings suggest something similar may lurk in the Southern Ocean. In 2016, satellite images near Deception Island showed a massive shadow beneath the water. To some, it looked like a sea stack. To others, it was proof that giant creatures still roam Antarctica's depths. After all, colossal squids, the largest in the world, are known to live here. But not all the mysteries are about monsters. Throughout the 20th century, explorers and scientists have reported strange sensations, feelings of being watched, of unseen figures walking beside them in the snow. Even the legendary explorer Ernest Shackleton once claimed that during a desperate trek, he and his team felt a mysterious presence, like a fourth person walking with them, even though only 3 were there. Other stories tell of abandoned huts with vanishing tools, footsteps with no source, and voices carried on the icy wind. Skeptics blame the extreme isolation and harsh environment, but for those who felt it, Antarctica's silence hides more than just snow. In the late 1930s, as war loomed over Europe, Nazi Germany turned its eyes to Antarctica. In 1938, Adolf Hitler approved a secret expedition to a part of the continent now known as Queen Maudland. The mission, officially, to claim land and secure access to whale oil. But many believe there was more to the story. The Germans named their claimed territory Neuschwabenland. Their planes dropped metal markers stamped with swastikas, staking their claim over 600,000 square kilometers. Some say they were doing more than mapping. Rumors began to spread after World War II that the Nazis had built hidden underground bases beneath the ice, that they had escaped there, bringing in scientists, advanced technology, and secrets that were never meant to be found. And then came Operation Highjump. In 1946, just months after the war, the United States launched the largest Antarctic military mission in history. Led by Admiral Richard E. Byrd, it involved over 4,000 personnel, 13 ships, and dozens of aircraft. Officially, it was a scientific expedition. Unofficially, some believe it was something more. The operation was cut short, ending weeks ahead of schedule. Reports emerged of damaged aircraft, missing equipment, and encounters with strange aerial phenomena. One theory suggests that Byrd's team encountered a hidden Nazi base, possibly even guarded by advanced technology or something not of this world. Years later, a mysterious diary surfaced, allegedly written by Byrd himself. It tells of flying into a temperate zone within Antarctica, landing in a hidden valley, and being taken to an underground city called Agartha, inhabited by tall beings with glowing eyes and superior knowledge. They warned Byrd about humanity's destructive path, then sent him back with a message, a call for peace, and a warning about the future. There's no proof the diary is real, and many dismiss the entire account as fiction. But the scale of Operation Highjump and its sudden, quiet end has kept the theories alive. Did Byrd uncover something Antarctica wasn't ready to reveal? After World War II, strange rumors began to surface. Whispers of disc-shaped aircraft, silent, fast, and nothing like anything seen before. Some said they were alien. Others believed they were the result of secret Nazi experiments, technology far ahead of its time. During the war, Nazi scientists were working on advanced weapons, jet fighters, long-range rockets, and propulsion systems that seemed impossible for the era. But then came the legends. Tales of mysterious projects like the Honeybu, the Viril craft, and the most famous of all, Die Glock, or the Bell. This bizarre bell-shaped machine was said to emit a strange glow and hum with energy. Some claimed it could fly. Others said it could bend time and space. There's no solid evidence that any of these machines existed, but that hasn't stopped the theories. And it gets even weirder. Some believe that Nazi occult groups, like the Thule Society and the Vril Society, weren't just obsessed with mythology, but were trying to contact non-human intelligences, beings from other planets, or even from within the Earth itself. According to these stories, the Nazis didn't develop their technology alone. They had help from ancient sources or extraterrestrial ones. And when the war ended, some believe Nazi leaders and scientists escaped, taking their secrets to hidden bases under the ice of Antarctica. In 1947, the US launched Operation Paperclip, secretly bringing over hundreds of German scientists to work on American rocket and aerospace programs. Could they have also brought knowledge of these so-called flying discs? The Soviet Union was doing the same, capturing scientists and equipment in a global race for technological dominance. To this day, some believe that the early UFO sightings of the late 1940s weren't alien, but man-made test flights based on Nazi designs. Truth, fiction, disinformation, the evidence is murky. But the theories continued to grow, and Antarctica, with its isolation and secrecy, remains at the heart of it all. Today, anyone with an internet connection can explore Antarctica from space, thanks to high-resolution satellite imagery and tools like Google Earth. Strange discoveries are popping up more than ever, and the world is watching. One of the most viral finds, a massive, dark object resting at an angle in the ice, with a long, straight trail behind it, as if something crashed, skidded, and came to a stop. Some called it a hidden aircraft. Others said it looked like a UFO. The object appeared to be partially buried, with snow piling up over time. Its shape, sleek, rounded, almost artificial. Not far from that, another satellite image showed a large oval structure, half covered in snow, with smooth, symmetrical lines. To some, it looked like a buried flying saucer. To others, it was the entrance to something underground. Then came the strangest of them all. In a remote part of southeastern Antarctica, people spotted what looked like a giant face staring up from the ice. Eyes, nose, mouth, all seemingly carved into the snow-covered landscape. Was it just an optical illusion, or something ancient left behind long ago? Some believe these features are signs of a lost civilization, now buried under miles of ice. Others suggest they're part of something much more modern, secret facilities, underground installations, or long-abandoned experiments. Then there's the iceberg that looked like a frozen cruise ship, complete with what seemed like windows, decks, even funnels. It wasn't just its shape, it was how precise the lines were, as if it had been sculpted, not formed by nature. Are these just coincidences, or breadcrumbs? In Antarctica, even the snow seems to whisper secrets. In 1959, something unusual happened. 12 nations, including rivals like the United States and the Soviet Union, came together and signed a treaty, agreeing to demilitarize an entire continent. The Antarctic Treaty banned military activity, nuclear testing, and territorial claims. It declared that Antarctica would be used only for peaceful science, and that all findings must be shared openly. Sounds like a noble idea, right? But here's where things get strange. The treaty came just 14 years after World War II, and right in the middle of the Cold War. Why with these superpowers, who couldn't agree on anything else, suddenly unite to protect a frozen wasteland? Today, over 50 countries are part of the agreement, and while tourists can visit parts of the coast, the vast interior remains heavily restricted. There are zones you can't fly over, regions marked off limits due to environmental concerns, and most scientific outposts are closely monitored. For conspiracy theorists, this isn't just about conservation, it's about control and secrecy. Some believe governments are hiding ancient ruins, alien technology, even underground facilities. And because no one can independently explore these restricted areas, those theories only grow stronger. Is the Antarctic Treaty really protecting science, or protecting something else entirely? For millions of years, Antarctica has been sealed in ice. But now, that ice is melting, and fast. In some places, like the Antarctic Peninsula, temperatures have risen by almost 3 degrees Celsius in just the last 50 years. Glaciers are retreating, ice shelves are collapsing, and massive chunks of frozen history are breaking into the sea. Why does it matter? Because Antarctica holds 90% of the world's fresh water. If all of that melts, global sea levels could rise by over 60 meters, enough to drown entire cities. And yet, something strange is happening. As the ice thaws, parts of Antarctica are starting to look green. Fossil records show the continent was once a lush, forested land, with trees, ferns, and even wildfires. And if warming continues, scientists say some areas, especially along the coast, may support grasslands and hardy plants by the end of this century. Penguins are already moving farther south. Invasive species like bluegrass have appeared. And if trends continue, small human colonies might one day live here, growing food, raising animals, maybe even farming. But this greening comes at a cost. Ancient ecosystems could collapse, rising seas could reshape the world, and the untouched silence of Antarctica, the last wild frontier, may vanish forever. So now, the question isn't just what lies beneath the ice, it's what happens when the ice is gone. Antarctica is changing, its glaciers are cracking, its secrets are surfacing, and what was once the world's most silent continent is finally speaking. Is it hiding ancient civilizations, alien bases, or is it simply a mirror, showing us the extremes of Earth's past and the warnings of its future? We may never know the full truth, but one thing's certain, Antarctica is far more than just ice and snow. It's a mystery we're only beginning to understand. So now, we're left with a question that echoes through time. What is Antarctica truly hiding? Is it a frozen archive of Earth's lost history, a silent witness to ancient civilizations long buried, or something else entirely watching us from beneath the ice? We've journeyed through ice, myth, and science, from impossible pyramids to forgotten valleys, from hidden Nazi bases to subglacial lakes untouched by time. And the truth, it may be buried, but it is not forgotten. If this story moved you, if it stirred something deep inside, don't let it end here. Subscribe to join us on more journeys into the world's deepest mysteries. Leave a like if Antarctica still haunts your thoughts, and share your theories in the comments below. Who knows, your voice might unlock the next piece of the puzzle. Until then, stay curious, stay questioning, and remember this: even in a world covered in ice, the truth is never frozen forever.